What's up everyone, I'm Death Gaming, and today I have a surprise for y'all. I'm playing on No Man's Land on FS19, and I built this completely from scratch. This whole farm area. All I did was set up those two buildings and the silo and put the house down off cam because I've never messed with the editing thing before, so that's why this little road up looks so steep, because this was actually a mountain and I just flattened it and then put the little paint stuff around to make it look like the mountainside. And I did try and I did the smooth terrain on this, but it still looks fairly steep. I'm gonna try and smooth it out even more, maybe gradually lower it down and bring this out to about here before it goes up. That way it's more of a longer pull up to make it easier and more realistic. But this was my first attempt at doing this. And as you guys can see when I flattened the terrain, this tree kind of started levitating. So it'll probably, it actually might stay. It'll be the beacon of this playthrough. So without further ado, let's look at our options. So we are going to get a small tractor starting off, and I modded in this one. Now, it's actually got the perfect amount of horsepower to pull a loading wagon, because a loading wagon requires 80 horsepower. So that means this is probably our best bet right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to buy this one. We're not going to mess with it in any way, we're just going to buy it as is, because that'll save us money in the long run. Now we're going to have to create some fields, because I didn't buy the property that had the field on it. Instead, I bought like a little quadrant area and wanted to see how I could change that. So what I did was I bought this 6x6 right here, because it has the loop around, and hopefully sometime during this entire Let's Play, I want to have every inch of this inner circle full of either fields, machine halls, equipment storage spaces, extra silos, whatever. I want to fill up this entire circle with farming equipment and maybe a field here and there. So that's the goal for the inner circle. Now the bits on the outer circle is what I'm actually going to turn into fields. So the top half of this, the bottom half through here, and all that through there. Everything outside of the circle that I own, I'm going to try and turn into fields. Separate fields, so I can grow various things. But that's the plan for this Let's Play series. Let's get back to buying our equipment now. We're going to need a seeder, but we actually don't need one of these just yet. I'm not going to rush that. So what we're going to buy next is we got our plow, and there's a lot of grass around, so we can easily make money just by cutting the grass. So I'm just going to buy this. And then we have two options from there. We can either bale, because I have an old cheap baler modded in. It's past all these trailers that duplicated. I have this option, so I could get it, or we can get a loader wagon. Well, actually we might not can. Okay, never mind, we can't get a loader wagon. So basically the only way that we're going to be able to sell grass is if we just bale it and sale it. Don't suppose there's a cheap-ish solid dropper? No? Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna buy this as well. There we go. And there is one last thing that we're gonna go ahead and buy, and that is a fairly small tipper just to pull behind the tractor. We're gonna get the car trailer. Okay. Now I don't know if I can purchase anything that will like sell, because that's really expensive. So I can't sell the wood through that. And we're working with a very limited amount of money here. I don't think we're gonna see anything that's gonna be cheap. I mean, that's cheaper than just the chipper alone, but even when I started this, I didn't have enough money to buy that. I was 10 grand off. Would have been nice to buy that. Do we have a chainsaw? No, we do not. We're gonna need one of those. We might not need it right now, but we will need one eventually, and it's better just to go ahead and buy it early. Alright, so I'm gonna jump over to the shop so we can collect our things. And I think I'm gonna make this pathway more distinct so you can really tell it's a path. Alright, so we are going to hook up to all of our equipment. Turn the camera around so I can seize. Now we're gonna have to pull all this one at a time, but I really want to focus on taking all of the field stuff first, because I'm gonna put this where the very first field is going to be. Alright, we got our cruise control set now. So I'm going to set this down where our very first field's going to be set at. And then I'm going to come back and get the mower, and we're going to go ahead and cut up some grass with it. And then we're going to bale it. And then we're going to load those bales up somehow. Ew, I didn't think about well, I can pull the car trailer behind it maybe, and maybe it'll fall into that. So if I can pull the car trailer behind it and have the bales fall into that, then we'll take them and sell them off. Alright guys, starting right here around this area on the map. Oh, my bad, wrong button. So about where the roads meet on the 25th quadrant of this map is about where I'm gonna start this at. So we're gonna lower the plow down and then detach it, and we are going to head back and get all of our stuff, and I'll pretty much just skip the whole me driving back and forth multiple times part to get everything here. So y'all won't have to suffer through all that. You'll just see, the next thing y'all see will probably just be everything being here. Alright guys, we had a slight change of plan here. The trailer that I had wouldn't connect to the back of this baler, so I just bought a bale trailer. And sold the car trailer. So at least now I can collect the bales after they're down. And this one has the automatic load feature on it. So yes, that does kind of take away from the realism, especially since it's not like the kind to where you put the operator arm down and then it shows it loading it up. It's the kind that, why is my camera all jacked up? It's this kind. Yeah, it's the kind that you just kind of Probably shouldn't have put that in there like that, but it's okay for now. It's the kind that you drop beside the bale and it just picks them up and puts them in there. So it's not exactly a realistic kind, but this thing can't get a front end attachment for some reason. And even if it could, I don't think I'd have the amount of money to give it one. Although if it needed one, like if it could get one, I wouldn't have had to have sold the car trailer. I could just put the bales in it. Alright guys, we are about to start plowing up this. I'm going to create an outline first of what I want, and then I'm going to fill in the gaps. I'm going to go down to about that tree right there. This is going to be a very skinny field. Not the tree that was on the right hand side, but the tree literally dead straight in front of me. I'm going to go down to it and then get as tight to the tree that was on the right hand side earlier as possible. And that's how I'm going to... Okay, so this is the tree that I wanted to hit. And now we just need to lift our plow. And kind of back up here. I've never done this before. I'm doing a lot of things I've never done before. Put the plow back down. Hold up, let me grab my controller real quick so I can see where that tree is. Okay, there it is. So I should probably actually just turn here. Just like that. Let me fix my camera. I wish I could fix the camera and everything with my steering wheel, because that would keep me from having to pick up my controller every time. Alright, so we're just going to run down here. And then I'm going to cut inside of those trees, probably a good bit off of them, because I don't want the harvester or anything to nick them when I'm actually harvesting later on. So we're going to cut in about like that. Then we're going to go out here. We're going to turn. There we go. That's kind of an outline. There is one other thing that I am going to do real quick before I either time-lapse or cut the rest of this. And what we're going to do... My steering wheel keeps bouncing. Hold up, let me fix it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the plow down. About here. I'm going to get that bit later. I just want to push this tight to this tree. Just like that. Okay, now the rest of this will either be cut out or time-lapsed. Alright guys, so this is the last little bit right here. And then our field is 100% done. There we go. And just like that, we have created our small field, but as long as it does what I need it to do, I'm not going to complain. Let me just put this up here in the... Well, we'll probably just park it in front of the house, honestly. Oh my. I forgot it would try and create a field if you did that. because I forgot to change it back. But that's okay. I'll fix that off camera later. So we don't have much money, and this video is about to be wrapped up, but there is one last thing that we need before I start the next video, and that's this old cultivator right here. So I'm gonna see if we'll set up changes anything. No? Okay. So we're just gonna go ahead and buy that real quick. And I'm gonna look at how much that cedar actually was again, so I know how much we'll need. Oh, we can get that now. Awesome. So, we're gonna need this. The scraper is actually costing us money, so if I take that off, we'll get to save some. Now, we don't have money for seed, but that's okay, because all of our money problems will be solved in the next video. Well, y'all probably won't actually see it, but I'm gonna cut all this, but I'm going to do it off cam because I started on it while recording, and the more I looked around, just cutting this with this thing, it's gonna take a year, and it would honestly be easier and quicker if I just cut it off cam and then baled it, and then when I came back, I'll load it for y'all on camera and we'll sell it. But for now, that wraps up this video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.